the other thing with this personalization idea that you even mentioned earlier is that sure you can have communities which are more relatable or like more relevant to your liking, and you can feel comfortable that that also gives the opportunity or the chance for polarization and like more hate, like for example, let's say hate groups to like form and just for those voices to get amplified, right? Like you're like in some way the algorithms are also doing that, which by showing you the things that you want to see, they're basically providing you the validation that you want to even further believe the things that you already do.
Yep.
Which drives you to like the ends of spectrums. And like even though if it's personalized, you may be in a group of people that think the same way that you do, and that would still lead to that polarization. So how do you prevent that, or how do you tackle that?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. So there's two different types of personalization that there's many different types, but
Right.
two that I want to bring up now. One of them is personalizing the workflow, and the other one is personalizing the content.
Right.
So you were describing personalizing the content. And one of the reasons, unfortunately, for that has been advertising. So for example, people want to up engagement scores. And the more you can keep people on a page, the more advertisements you can show. And so Zeynep Tufekci had a really nice, she's written a lot about this. I think she has a TED Talk about this too, about how she was starting to watch something on YouTube, and over time she found that extreme content was, auto playing next and showing up at the front. And so, one of the reasons for this was because of, the wanting to keep people's eyeballs on that page for longer periods of time.
Right.
So that's a personalization of content to keep people on there. If I were to personalize workflow, for example, I might value people not being on there. Like I might flip the narrative, right? And say that people shouldn't be looking at things for more than 10 minutes. So I'll only include engaging content for like X amount of minutes.
Right.
And then, people are like, oh, I've seen everything there is to see here. I'll go off now and maybe come back later. And so being able to personalize that part of it is something that we can't do at the moment. And maybe it's something we should focus doing. But I do think this idea of rethinking the workflows needs probably more discussion than we've given it right now.